everyone, welcome to In the Spotlight, hosted by myself on every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thank you guys for always tuning in with me and coming to check the show out. And even if you aren't here right now live listening, come check the show afterwards. They're all saved onto the page there. So, and again, if any of you guys haven't checked out the ethericforceradio.com website, we got a ton of apparel and stuff on there, guys. We've got all kinds of different things made for all the different shows. So we've got 11 or 12 talk shows now, all for different genres. We've got a whole bunch of apparel for each show. So each show's got t-shirts, mugs, pillows. We're working on tote bags. We got socks. We even have baby onesies. It's kind of cool. So if you guys want to check those out, we're actually lowering our prices and stuff because we were working with a company before and we've kind of swapped to a different distribution and printing companies now. So we have a little bit of cheaper prices, which I'm sure you guys will all appreciate. And if that was holding you back from purchasing anything before, it definitely won't now. So if you guys want to check out the website again, it's ethericforceradio.com. Nice and simple, and just go to the merchandise shop down at the bottom on the drop page section there, and all of the apparel is under there. And we also have some really, really great sponsorship products also, as well as affiliate products that we've got on there. So we've got a few different things from the film festival show. A lot of their sponsors have got their products up on there, and it all kind of involves teaching products for producing and making film. People who work in film festivals, software that'll help with that. We've got Jungle Software and Variety 411, and then we've also got Dove Simmons's movie classes are on there as well. So check all that stuff out, guys. There's a lot of really great stuff. But enough with our stuff here. Oh my gosh, has this not been one of the longest weeks of everyone's life? And it just seems to keep going and going. I don't live in the States. I live in Canada. For all of you guys who are familiar with me, I'm from Ontario, and I'm from Toronto, which is in a very small town. It's quite large city. But the things that are going on in the States right now after Donald Trump has been elected is just like, oh my God. Like, I didn't think that people were going to make that big of a stink, either because Hillary wasn't elected or they don't like Donald Trump or whatever everybody's got a right to vote. And, the best man won. He obviously got the most votes. And, I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump does. Don't believe me. I'm not a supporter of a lot of the things he does. Do I think he's a great businessman? Yes and no. He's got his faults in business as well. But, everybody does. But I really hope that, this all smooths out. This is craziness, guys. For anybody who lives in the States right now, I feel for you guys because it's so sad to see some of these acts of violence and hate crimes and all of this stuff being, all over the world, people are or all over America, people are experiencing, different acts of violence and just pure outrage on Trump's being elected president. And it's just like, I get it, people are upset, but do you need to go out into the street and make that big of a deal? Maybe not. You know what I mean? It's one thing to say, I really disagree, I really disagree what is going on with, everything out in the world and in America right now, but to be going out and smashing things and burning things and hurting individuals, and it's just crazy. I can't even wrap my head around it. But stay safe, everybody in the States, and really, really, everybody who's being mean out there, stop it. Because you know what, it's not nice, and it's not, if that was you and you were being treated like that, I think you would change your tone a little bit, right? So with that being said, good luck to Donald Trump and his presidential career, so I may say, but I don't know where this is going to go, and I hope that, if the people are going to make a statement, make it loud and clear, and do it responsibly, people. Don't go around hurting people and causing damage to people's property and rioting in the middle of the streets and starting fires and doing all this crazy crap. It's nonsense. So you know what, on a better note, I hope everybody, I had some technical issues last week, guys. I'm sorry about the audio. I'm not sure what happened with my show, but everything recorded, everyone said they could hear me live, but for whatever reason, I was making really, really odd noises, and it wasn't sounding, it didn't sound good. And then once I had it saved, it didn't end up playing. So we had a little bit of issues last week. Thankfully, you guys, I'm hoping you can hear me now. And we've got, a lot of really great things going on right now. The holidays are coming and Christmas is coming up. And I've been working a lot on a project locally here. And I'm actually working with a Hamilton hospital that I'm going to be doing a massive donation for, with everybody who, honestly, I just want to say something right now while I'm on air. If anybody's listening who has talked to me about the donations or messaged me about interest in getting, their works involved in doing a massive donation as a workplace, God bless you guys, because you know what, honestly, I remember, let me just start by saying that when my daughter Carmela was 3 years old, okay, she got a really, really rare blood disorder. Actually, you know what? Let me start by saying, so what I am doing is I am doing a massive children's toy drive. So we are doing and accepting all kinds of toys for children from the ages of 0 to about 16 years old, because I don't think, 16 to 18-year-olds play with toys, but there will be, kids in there who are still classified as kids that are sick, who are in, sometimes 16, 17, 18 years old. So I like to include the older ones too, guys. So we are doing a toy drive, and we've also got a donation open for food and cutlery and plates and coffee, tea, all that kind of stuff for the Ronald McDonald Room. They have a room there for families who, when, their loved ones are ill and they're in the hospital, there's a lot of times where you don't have the money to go down and spend $6, $7 on a sandwich. Let's face it, the hospital food is not cheap. So a lot of people can't afford to feed their whole families while staying there for weeks and weeks on end, right? So they have this really great room called the Ronald McDonald Room, and it's in there, and it just it has a very wide selection, actually, for being just a donations room. A pretty good selection of food for people to be able to snack on or eat while they're staying there, so they can keep their energy going. And it may not be a full course meal, but it's still, there's stuff for them to get, like bagels and toast and English muffins and stuff like that, and soups and little snacks for the kids, like apple sauces and fruit cups and stuff like that. So there's a ton of really great things available, so that people can keep going and not spend an arm and a leg while their loved one is sick in the hospital and they don't have a choice, right? So a lot of the times people are in there. I know, for example, Carmela, she got sick when she was about 3 years old. She ended up having an infection in her blood. So we were, taken to hospital. She was in ICU for 2.5 months on an anesthetic-induced coma. And she was completely asleep for 2 months. We spent Christmas in there while she was asleep. My oldest and my youngest sons spent Christmas in there as well, and I didn't have time to shop. I didn't have time to get out and see family, spend time with anybody over the holidays. We were in the hospital. My daughter was in the ICU, like that's the intensive care unit. So like we had to be close by in the hospital at all times. The furthest we could go was a food court, right? So long story short, she was there, and we had this really, really amazing group of people come in one day during the holidays and dropped off, quite a few toys, actually. They had, I guess, focused on just the intensive care unit as a group. They went out and got as many toys as they could, and they bunched them all up based on a family survey that they had done there. And each family got donated a giant bag of toys for their kids and their family and all of that, and decorations for the room. And I just remember the feeling once I got done getting over all of the emotion. I remember just being like so relieved, because you know what, I didn't have the time. I had the money, but I also didn't at the same time, because I was spending so much staying at the hospital for such a long period of time. That, Christmas just sucked that year for everyone. And I felt so bad because there was nothing I could do about it. I couldn't leave the hospital. I couldn't go shopping. I couldn't go, out to, places and try and get a good amount of stuff and save some money, or, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was crappy. I was like, we literally were just going to cancel Christmas. And this group of people really changed our perspective and brightened up our day. So my goal is to go around. We've just found out that distribution to each child may not be possible, but we are going to be having set up almost like a walk-in workshop kind of warehouse sort of thing, where we're going to invite all the families from each ward to either send a family member because they're too ill to leave their rooms. Some of them are unable to have visitors or to leave because they're under isolation of some sort for their illness, but so that would prevent them from coming down, so they could send a family member down to come get a gift for them. So we're going to have this little spot in the hospital that the staff there are going to let us use, that everybody's going to come in and pick a toy. So that's my goal. We have a goal of 120 beds. So anyone who's listening right now, if you know someone, or if you are that person and you would like to donate something of some sort for any child between the ages of 0 to, like I said, 18 years old, we are open to all donations. We are really, really, really thankful that everyone is even taking the time to, appreciate this and help us out with this, because this is really, really something that I believe is going to help make it, if not anything else, at least help make Christmas a little bit easier for, the child who's stuck in there over the holidays and their families, you know what I mean? Even just to see a look on their kid's face when they receive the toy, it's going to be, a relief in one way or another. So, that's our goal. We've got approximately 120 inpatient beds, and then we've also got a clinic that we would like to allow handouts for a part of the bunch of toys. So we're going to be doing the 3F clinic, and this will be at McMaster Children's Hospital in Hamilton, Ontario, in Canada. So we're going to be doing a distribution for those kids because it's an open clinic. And then we will be having a room set up with a whole bunch of the rest of the toys for people to come in and pick one and take back to their rooms. So, excuse me, guys. But yeah, so that is my goal, and it's going great. We've had a lady, I just went and picked up our first donation today, and she donated a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you very much. I'm not going to say her name on air in case she didn't like it, but thank you very much. You know who you are, and I really, really appreciate your interest in this event. And you know what, like I said, it's going to make some little boy or girl's day very, very bright. So, God bless everyone who's reaching out and helping. And if anybody needs to get in contact with me, there is a web page up on Facebook. So we've got it under McMaster Children's Toy Drive. That's what the name of the Facebook group is. So if you guys want to check out that, it's got all the details. And we also have a GoFundMe page set up because I was thinking for, God forbid, whatever reason we don't come up with the amount of toys. I don't want to walk in with not enough toys for at least a whole clinic or a whole ward of some sort, because I don't want anybody to feel left out if we don't have enough, right? So if God forbid we don't get the amount that we need donated, we have an open GoFundMe account for everyone to donate money so that we can go and purchase some toys from a massive local warehouse that we have here in Ontario, and we're going to go out and grab a whole bunch of toys for a discounted price. So, our goal is $2,000 on that, and any of the money remaining from purchasing toys and stuff to make the event go smoothly, the rest of the money will be put into food vouchers for all the families in MAC, because what they do is, instead of giving families money while they're in there, some of the families I know, they get food vouchers for the cafeterias. So it's like a gift certificate. So they get, X amount of dollars on a gift certificate to go and spend just in their cafeteria on food. So it's a really, really great way to help them out and really make their stays a little bit easier, especially financially and emotionally. There's enough going on. These people have enough on their plates. Christmas is a huge burden for anybody who's in there at this time, and you know what, it's scary. You know what I mean? It's really, really sad and scary, and to make it any way easier, that's my biggest goal here. So everyone, if you could take a look at that,